Alright, welcome to I Wrote This Down by Start 25. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment, share. Let's get right into it, man. Today, we're going to talk about something interesting. Some topic that people really don't talk about. The topic we're going to talk about today is how you should view algebra. Yeah, I think I talked about this before, maybe in one of my freestyle raps or something. Revisiting it again, if you have heard that before, you know how I feel about algebra. I probably have more insights today about it. Grab what I wrote down here, read it. As you can see, yeah, I'm in AZ, Arizona, you know what I'm saying? Shout out. What is the definition of algebra? When I was in school, I read it from the textbook. It's simply this. Algebra means the union of broken parts. The union of broken parts, bringing them all together. When you look at an algebraic expression, you probably don't think that pieces are broken, but if you think about it, you're solving for something. Numbers, probably symbols and letters in an equation, and your instructor told you to solve for X, or maybe solve for Y, or solve for gamma or beta, or solve for rhombus. You can I give up. Some people can't do fractions, but algebra, who brought this in here? All these people just coming up with ideas. And let me just throw this little nugget in there, man. I've learned that the things that we learn in school, they should have taught us about money, but that's beside the point. Probably another video for that one. But the things that we learn in school are just like tools in the toolbox, and it's up to you really to figure out how to use the toolbox. The subject that you learn in school is all of it together. It's like a process of algebra. You solve it for what your life is going to be like. You're trying to pave the way for you. Algebra is thinking logically about numbers rather than computing with numbers. Usually we're taught to compute numbers like 1 plus 1 equals 2 and 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 3 times 4 equals 12. That's computing with numbers, and that's a lot simpler than thinking logically with numbers, or anything for that matter. In other words, you have to stop thinking mathematically and start thinking algebraically. Wish so many would do this. Let's continue. A lot of people say, I don't see me using this in real life. What's the point of this algebra? Is algebra really necessary? That's a good question. At the time, me being in school, really couldn't see the point of algebra. I couldn't really see how it would apply to my real life until just recently. Like an epiphany came over me or something. We use algebra, ladies and gentlemen, every single day. You don't believe me? Let's delve more into this topic. Yes, it helps the brain break down things logically instead of at face value. Man, I'm guilty of it too. How many times have we broken down things? How many times have we just taken things for face value? Like, they can tell you to get a shot, no matter what center. They don't tell you what center, they don't tell you how they made it. Just take the shot. Or they say, just do this, or just get this insurance, or so many things. Just do it. We just take for face value. Even though they may have not done it morally, they have used algebra, and they therefore have the upper hand, and they tell you what to do. They don't want you to use your brain. That's why algebra is so necessary. So many don't think logically. Therefore, maybe there was a problem in school somewhere when it came to algebra. That's a theory of mine, but I do believe it's accurate, because algebra, again, helps you think logically, not just computing things. I don't think we ask a lot of questions that way. Believe it or not, good parents teach algebra. They might not even know they're teaching good algebra. No human can make sense to another human without logic, aka algebra. Moving on. A real life example of algebra, I have to get to work. I live on one side of town, and my job is on the other side of town, miles away. Like, I can't just think about it and I'm there, right? And I need to be there the next 30 minutes. People might be asking, what does this got to do with algebra? But check me out. Solve for transportation. You know how they say solve for x? It's the same thing as saying 3 plus x equals 5. Solve for x. How does 3 get to 5? I got a multiple choice here. 1 equals sitting down. 2 equals driving a car. 3 playing the video game. Most would choose 3. We clearly know that 3 plus 2 equals 5, but you will see it this way. 3 plus x, or whatever variable that they choose, 3 plus x equals 5. How would we get to 5? But I use the real life example because this is how we understand algebra the best. When we use real life examples, understanding these type of concepts that you learn in school. Let's move on. Why is algebra so hard? And why don't most feel it's necessary? Algebra may appear difficult. Yeah, it really isn't. Just take it step by step, like walking. You can't skip any unless you're driving, aka calculator. Cheaters. Algebra is simply a formula for solving a problem. If you're a problem solver, you're good at algebra. Think about the single moms, very good at algebra. But usually, most females think algebra is hard or math is difficult, but they're probably the best at math if you think about it. Most don't feel it's necessary because they feel like an algebraic expression won't show up at the gas pump. You in big trouble if it does. Let's move on. How can practicing algebra be beneficial to you and not be superficial to you? Practicing algebra will give your brain the juice to solve major problems in your life. Just like 2 plus 2 can never equal 4. Oops, I'm kidding. I meant 5. Imagining unrealistic solutions to problems will not work. Hello, most governments in the world. No wonder government power should be of, by, and for the people. Because what's true and makes algebraic sense works for everybody. Remember, numbers don't lie. Let me expound on it just a little bit more. Why learning about George Washington or the Indians and Mayans and all these things in the past, why learn about these things? Even the Lord says don't remove the former landmark of your ancestors. They say it's a reason for everything. It's really a wisdomatic lesson in the things that we learn. Again, don't take it at face value, but use algebra to see why this thing is being taught. What is the significance behind this? Solving for x, remember? We learn history so we won't repeat the same stupid stuff again that got us in trouble. Let me say this, God is the master of solving things. He's the algebraic king. Until next time, y'all, God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you find me saying any value across this video or any videos or any content I may present to you. Thank you again for tuning in to I Wrote This Down. Peace. It's been good